Alright, hi everybody. This is me playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils. This is a mirror match. I am playing a build with no Ad Nauseam in the main, actually. I have 2 Past Flames. You'll find the list beneath the video. So yeah, let's get going. And I've lost the die roll. I'm up against a blind opponent here. I don't know what I'm facing. I on the play would, I don't know. I'm not sure I'd even keep this on the play. That Badlands is real bad. If it'd make top and then get wasted and then just be screwed. So no, I'm all in this hand. I get this one and it's basically a keeper because we've got Brainstorm and blue mana. Got a combo piece in the tutor. Protection with the Cabal Therapy. So off we go. My opponent starts off fetching a basic island. So immediately that tells us a couple of things. Probably no wasteland. He starts off with Preordain, so combo most likely. Nope. I'm not actually sure I can see what he did here. Yeah. Draw the Grim Tutor. It's not a fantastic draw, but not too bad. I don't really want to blind therapy here because, yeah, okay, combo, but we could be facing any number of things. Show and tell deck, we might want to, say hit force of will, or we might need to protect ourselves. So I think we're basically left with not doing anything, and I feel safe deploying the Underground Sea here and not the Polluted Delta or Tropical Island, because basically I'm not worried about wastelands because of the basic island. And secondly, though, you might want to not give away what you're playing, and maybe Delta is a slightly less of a giveaway than Underground Sea, but I want to be able to Brainstorm and then save the shuffle effect for, and then at least be able to shuffle one card back into my library. So that's why I did that. Opponent is on a Ponder. This is definitely combo, I'm thinking now, and yeah, likely a mirror match or an Omni deck. And once I see this Duress, I know it's well, I feel very sure it's a mirror. So I feel like I've got to Brainstorm here. I mean, even though it's not, I'm not like protecting a next turn win or anything, but it's just, and I have redundant tutor pieces, but he's gonna take the Brainstorm most likely. So that's why I feel like I gotta do this. And here I decide that since I'm really sort of quite a bit away from doing anything like on the offensive, I'd much rather try and just control, sort of, take all his cards or his relevant cards with discard. So I want to save the Duress because it's gonna basically I want to go Duress into therapy. So I'm gonna put back Duress on the top and my Infernal Tutor. I'm pretty okay with losing one tutor, and here he actually decides to take one of my therapies. So he's sort of, and plays out as the LED, so he knows what's up. So we discard him, and yeah, it's this is a bit of, Past in Flames is basically a card you never want your Ad Nauseam, like in a mirror match, you never want the opposing player to actually ever see this card. And this is a bit of a nothing really, like a hand that my discard isn't super, devastating against. I end up taking his Infernal Tutor because I feel like he's going to be, that's his only business card other than the Past in Flames. I'm not sure it's correct. I could have taken both of his cantrips. As you see now, I'm gonna therapy his ponder. He doesn't have a shuffle effect, so I feel like his brainstorm is gonna be not as good as it could have been. I think actually probably I should have taken both cantrips because his tutor is now in the graveyard, but he has a pass and flame, so it's yeah, that was probably a mistake. Although I don't know. I mean, with the LED out, yeah, he draws probes me, and brainstorms. I think, yeah. Plays out a petal. What's he up to here? Oh yeah, I remember this now. So yeah, Ad Nauseams. And I'm guessing the video. Oh yeah, we'll show it. This is basically where like. So I guess he put back past the flames. It's just weird. Anyway. So this is where like me not having Ad Nauseam in the main deck really like. Ad Nauseam is a great card in the combo games. Yep, he's able to twist and turn, and I think eventually he beats me. I can't remember this. Oh, he passed the turn, but I think I am fairly much just like a sitting duck now. He has his Pass the Flames, multiple tutors. Yeah, and I lose promptly on the following turn. And I concede shortly, I believe. I should be conceding anyways. Yep. Alright. So I don't have the sideboard I don't have the sideboard action here, but I basically bring out one of my Pass and Flames, the Empty the Warrens. I don't like Empty the Warrens. I mean, you can do some nifty things with Cabal Therapies, and you can definitely win with Empty the Warrens, but I really detest going off and then passing the turn against a combo deck that can sort of one turn kill you. So that's basically my reasoning for not having Empty the Warrens in after board. I know some people just want as much business as possible, but I don't agree. Also, I mean, obviously it makes it makes Ad Nauseam worse. I also at this point I'm also packing actually I'm packing two Flusterstorms because there is quite a bit of Storm online, and they have random applications in other matchups. Also, sort of makes Reanimator, even though it's still a bad matchup, it sort of ups us by a few percentage points. But then I'm actually also running as a test one Surgical Extraction, so I'm a little bit sort of covered in the combo matchup. So those come in. I board out a land, a Pass and Flames, and the Empty the Warrens. Yep. So let's go to game 2. I would definitely like to start. This is a beautiful hand, very keepable. I just feel like I want to be playing out my my artifact mana against Storm, and I don't mind just like I don't want to be blind therapying. So this ponder is, yeah, it's not bad, but it actually doesn't really. Yeah, so what I want to do is I want to draw the LED and leave the tutor on top, and then next turn just win with Ad Nauseam. Play out all my artifact mana, and he's gonna have to actually have like Flusterstorm himself or the likes. I think he pros me. I think he actually discards my surgical, fearing that one, which is a very reasonable play, I think. But I'm gonna be, yeah, he plays out his artifacts, and then I'm just gonna draw the tutor now, and then play it. I think I'm keeping one LED. Yeah, basically keeping one LED because in order to get Hellbent again, there's absolutely no reason to crack the last one here. Haven't made a land drop, so it's pretty, like, I really would hate to lose from this point, although it can happen. I don't like showing him the Flusterstorms, but obviously, I mean, that's just, yeah. So, dropping down. Finally having to stop here. I think I hit the tutor. Yeah, and he concedes. So, very quick game 2. And we're off to game 3. So, this is I can't throw this hand away. It's definitely a keeper. We have some discard. We have a lot of business, and we have all the mana. We will probably, one of the lands could have, like, the Badlands could have been a cantrip or something just to. But this is pretty close to a perfect hand, or like a really good hand. Just don't kill us on turn 1. And he doesn't. He thought seizes us, and he grabs the LED. I think I probably would have done the same. Top is really good. Like, if the games in the mirror match, if they don't end on like turn 1 or 2, and they turn into like the more grind out, discard heavy sort of matchups, then top is an absolute beast. I lead on Duress though, and actually I think I take the top because, yeah, he has like redundant tutors. I could have taken the ritual, but it's a Cabal Ritual, so he's still like a mana short of actually getting anywhere. He ponders. That's a good draw for him. Yeah, I just want to get this top down. Probably ponder first though, just to see. And I like taking the Duress, and just like hedging my bets so he's not gonna kill me on the next turn. So I feel it's worth the Lotus Petal. I'm set on mana. Storm probably won't be an issue. Like in this case in point, you just want to wait, and you'll get the mana and you get the Storm. So here I take his ritual. I'm okay with him taking my tutor because I have the top now. I got 2 fetch lands on top, so I probably want to top and upkeep. I do that. And probe, play the fetch land. Yeah, and then probe per mana. He's still not really getting anywhere, and drawing the surgical is real nice. And this actually ends up, I'm topping here. I guess I want the therapy. I get a little bit loose in this game and sort of get, I don't really maximize my situation here. So now I got the possibility of tutor, or of surgically extracting his Cabal Ritual, and he has one in hand. But at the same time, I could just take his Infernal Tutors now, and then he's basically left to have to win using his Grim Tutor, or just naturally drawing Ad Nauseam or something. But I end up sort of sandbagging it, wanting to get clever. Take the ponder here, and I see a Flusterstorm, so I kind of want to leave that on top with my top just to be, just to... Alright, so I want to have the Flusterstorm on top, just to be able to, like, it's gonna require something amazing for him to be able to break through my Surgical in hand and a Flusterstorm floating on top. But he actually decides to do this, and this is where it's interesting because I think about surgically extracting his tutor here or his Cabal Ritual, but ultimately I don't, and he doesn't know about he doesn't know that he doesn't know that I have it, but he's a good player and he saw it game one, and he's basically, yep, just or I mean he saw it in game two. So he blind names it and hits and is rewarded. And now I just feel silly because I had a couple of turns where I considered using it but decided to, save it for on. Saving it for later on, and didn't get the payoff. I'm still in pretty decent shape. I'm like, ideally what I want now are just ritual effects. And at the same time, topping at the end of every turn. I don't really want to lose this Flusterstorm though. So just draw the tutor, leave the Flusterstorm floating. Yeah, he won't really be able to do anything. Here he Grim Tutors probably for Past in Flames. And this is actually, he's getting to a point where, I mean, Past in Flames actually allows him to navigate over the course of 2 turns, to navigate me having like one answer in the form of Flusterstorm. So yeah, end of turn I top again. I just decide to hell with it. I probe, drawing my Flusterstorm, which might have been a bit unwise. He's got, the ability to go off. Therapies me. This is basically where, like, I shouldn't have drawn that Flusterstorm. I think I got sort of caught up in wanting to go a little bit deeper here. Surprisingly, though, he doesn't name Flusterstorm. And now he's sort of, he's having to wait some more. And I look, oops, there's another Flusterstorm. And saved by that bell, and he's, yeah, he's not really getting, I don't see him getting through this. And I mean, eventually I'll draw what I need. And he can't really do anything, so just passes the turn. There's a Dark Ritual, and this is basically where I am going to go for it. So I'm going to tutor for another Dark Ritual, and off to the races with Past in Flames. Play out the Lotus Petal so that I, if he had something, I could Flusterstorm back, but the Flusterstorm is not that great of a defense here, because eventually I'll have to actually dump it to be able to tutor up my my tendrils. Well, I have the Grim Tutor in the yard, but I'm going to be sort of somewhat stuck on man. I guess I could have done it anyway, but what I actually end up doing is therapying myself. And then Infernal Tutor for tendrils. I could have just Grim Tutored, actually. Well, there you go. So that's it. I think I played a little bit loosey goosey in round in game 3 here, probing into that first Flusterstorm when there was no discernible reason. I mean, I could have just drawn the. What I wanted to do, I think, is I wanted to get a card deeper because I was really we weren't really getting anywhere. But what I should have done was just put Flusterstorm on, as the first card back, and then the Scalding Tarn, and then the Probe, and then probed into the Tarn, leaving the Flusterstorm on top, but then effectively seeing a card deeper with my top. Well, I didn't get punished because I played the spoiler 2 Flusterstorm 1 Surgical Extraction in my Storm deck against the mirror. I don't like playing the mirror that much, I have to say. I feel like a lot of the time it's just really feels like you win or lose the game by what's in your opening hand. I mean, that's not always true, of course, and the games where you get into these grind fests, then both players are discarded. Then it becomes a matter of top decking a lot of the time. So for a while I played Young Pyromancer in the board, and I would actually usually bring 2 in, just because I would hope to get the game into the mid game, so to speak, and then Pyromancer with Cabal Therapy just becomes nutso in the mirror. But you do run the risk of like looking at your Pyromancer in your opening hand, and while your opponent is chaining dark rituals before you get the turn. So I mean, there's that. Alright, but thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.